Turn off your heater, turn off your lights, step outside in January with nothing but the clothes on your back. You wouldn't last a single night. And yet 70,000 years ago, your ancestors survived not one winter, but 100,000 years of them. No fleece, no weather forecast, no backup plan. How? It wasn't strength. It was something far weirder. Here's what you need to understand first. The Ice Age wasn't one long freeze. It was a pulse. Over the last 2.6 million years, the Earth's climate has swung between warm and frozen more than 50 times. Each time, ice sheets a mile thick crept down from the poles and swallowed continents. Forests disappeared, mammoths roamed where cities now stand.
And every single time, humans were there. Not just surviving, but multiplying. Now, the textbooks will tell you they used fire, they wore fur, they hunted big game. All of that is true, and none of it is the whole story. Fire keeps you warm for a few hours, but you need wood, and wood doesn't grow under ice. Fur keeps you insulated, but skin freezes in minutes if the wind picks up. Hunting puts meat on the fire, but what do you eat when the herds are buried under permafrost? There's a missing piece, and scientists only found it in the last decade. In 2019, researchers published a study on bones from a cave in Atapuerca, Spain.
The bones belonged to early humans who lived 400,000 years ago, right in the middle of a massive glacial period. And the bones had something strange on them. Lesions. Tiny, repetitive marks that looked exactly like what you see in the skeletons of animals that hibernate. Bears, marmots, ground squirrels. The kind of damage that happens when your body slows down to a crawl, stops repairing itself properly, and just waits. The team's conclusion was so controversial that they spent years fighting to get it published. But the evidence was there. Early humans may have hibernated. Think about that for a second. Your ancestors didn't just tough out the winter. They shut down.
Their metabolism dropped. Their body temperature dipped. They stored fat in the autumn and burned it in slow motion through the frozen months. They woke up occasionally to drink water or eat stored food, but for weeks at a time, they were in a state closer to death than to life. And when spring came, they crawled back out, half their body weight gone, and they started the cycle again. For hundreds of thousands of years, this was survival. Not cleverness, not tools, just pure, ancient biological surrender. But here's the part nobody talks about. You still have the hardware. That brown fat I mentioned earlier, it's still there, wrapped around your spine and your neck. It's designed to generate heat when activated by cold, and there's a gene in your DNA called UCP1 that regulates it. In populations that lived through the Ice Age, that gene is more active. But in you, right now, it's sleeping. Because your body knows something your brain forgot. If it's never cold enough, if food never runs out, if the sun never sets on your pantry, why would it turn the furnace on? That's what artificial warmth and unlimited food did to us. They killed the signal. Your body no longer gets the message that winter is coming, so it never slows down. It never repairs. It never enters that quiet, meditative state that Wehr's subjects felt during that wakeful window between first and second sleep. Instead, you have seasonal affective disorder. You have winter weight gain that you can't explain. You have cravings for carbs that spike in November and disappear in June. Those aren't glitches. Those are echoes. Ghost programs running on old hardware that hasn't been properly booted in 1,000 generations. And here's the strangest part. We don't actually know when we stopped. Did we lose hibernation when we left Africa? When we started farming? When we built the first permanent house with a hearth that never went out? Or did we choose to lose it?
Did we decide, somewhere deep in our collective memory, that staying awake through the winter was worth the cost? Because it was a cost. Hibernation is dangerous. You're vulnerable. You can't defend yourself. You can't move. You're a sitting meal for anything that stumbles into your cave. Maybe we traded the ability to shut down for the ability to stay alert, to guard the fire, to tell stories through the dark months instead of sleeping through them. That trade is what made us human. We didn't survive the Ice Age by becoming more like animals. We survived it by becoming less like them. We stayed awake when we should have slept. We invented gods to explain the cold.
We carved needles from bone and sewed coats from the skins of animals we killed with our bare hands. We didn't hibernate. We suffered. And suffering, it turns out, was the better strategy. So tonight, when you're lying in bed at 2 a.m., wide awake, feeling the weight of a winter that won't end, don't call it insomnia. Don't call it anxiety. Call it what it is. 400,000 years of muscle memory telling you to stay alive. Your ancestors survived the ice because they were too stubborn to sleep through it. That stubbornness is still in you. The question is, what are you going to do with it?